Hi, I'm Jesse Walker, the University of Manitoba Bisons. I play receiver, number 8, and I'm in the Faculty of Arts.
Right, so you're tuned into Revs Magazine. I'm your hostess with the mostest, friendly neighborhood dark skin. The usual light skinned person had to attend some light skin issues, so they brought me from the chocolate factory to, fill in. So actually, we have a special episode. Actually, we actually have this athlete, Justin William Walker. We've been watching for quite a while now. All right, just come with me. We're actually gonna do a magic trick. It's gonna appear right here, right here. Spelliamus. Spelliamus. Correct. Hey, I'm Elvis.
I'm Jesse
I
Walker. Nice to meet you.
expected you to be didn't expect you to be this tall. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have like a level playing field. We're gonna actually have a sit down because
Okay.
this is intimidating.
Okay.
For a chocolate person like me, can't have this height difference. All right. Is that good with you?
Yeah.
All right. Let's take you to the seats. All right. So we're sat down now. I feel slightly intimidated, less intimidated now. At least we're in a level playing field. Right, I want to say like I'm actually happy like I get to speak to you. Actually, I actually don't know anything about the sport, American football, but I actually did do my research, alright, and I actually found out that you're from Missions, BC.
Yeah, I'm just from outside Vancouver. So I grew up in Abbotsford Mission area. I played for the Mission Roadrunners, was my high school. I was a quarterback there, but I converted now. I play receiver for the University of Manitoba. Yeah, so that's basically been my journey so far through high school to here. But
That's incredible because like I actually looked at the population of Mission, BC's as of 2016, only just 40,000.
yeah,
So
really small town.
what's it like growing up there?
Growing up in Mission, it's a little bit different because you really only like out of at my high school there wasn't many kids that were half black or ethnic backgrounds or different cultures. So mainly like being one of the only colored kids in town was a bit different. But other than that, like growing up in a small town, I feel like I was just more connected with the people and my family and friends and stuff. So it's not like having to know so many people, but like you're more connected in a smaller area.
That is true. There is like the ethnic disadvantages, but did you have like your siblings or are you just a single child or you just have your siblings
Actually,
or
I have
anything?
3 older sisters, so I was the youngest of the family. Right now, they're all kind of off and doing their thing, so I'm just here kind of finishing football and trying to make something of my life. So
Did you have like any household expectations though? Did your parents tell you I want you to be a doctor because you are ethnic?
yeah,
Well, for me, I know for a fact that my mom wanted all 3 of her kids to be doctors. Like she just wanted all of us to be wearing like the attires and everything. So did you have anything like that?
not really. My parents never put like a burden on my head to do anything. They kind of gave me the freedom to basically do whatever I wanted to do, and I've always followed my heart, and football's been my heart. So as I went through high school, I basically played basketball, I ran track, I played soccer from a young age up to almost HPL, so I played a pretty high level. But eventually, it came to a point where I had to choose, and I picked football because I just felt like my heart was there. So
Are you listening, mom? Are you listening? I get to choose. Alright, so basically I'm from England. I'm also Nigerian. So American football is actually unheard of. I know for a fact like it is new, and I know some of the NFL prospects are actually coming over to England and kind
yeah,
of like introducing the sport. But if it's not football like soccer, it's basically cricket, and obviously cricket's fine and all
yeah.
that, but I actually want to know about American football and how did you actually find it? Because as I did my research, I did find out that in grade 8 you actually were a soccer player actually,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you ran or you had like 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So basically, what happened was my dad, being from West Africa and Ghana, he's big on soccer, and he played for the under 17 team for the national team for Ghana. So he was a goalkeeper, and like everything for him was based around soccer. So when I actually went to Ghana in grade 6, and I lived there for about a year. I went to live with my family and all those things. But basically, when I came back, I went to high school and I finally got introduced to actual football, like contact football with pads on. And I remember one day I was walking like outside my high school and I walked by a practice and I literally was like, what is this? Like, you know what I mean? I didn't even understand the rules. I didn't know why there were so many whistles. I was like, they just stop all the time. I couldn't understand the game. And then basically my principal like asked me one day, he's like, hey, might as well try it out, see how it goes, right? So the first game I ever played in was like halfway through my grade 8 year. I played running back. I remember just like my principal standing on the sideline and all my friends, and like I'd never played in a football game in my life. And after that, I ran for like 5 touchdowns as a running back, and I just like ever since then, it clicked. Like something in my heart knew that like
Fell in love with the game.
I fell in love with it in a sense, yeah. So like basically ever since then, I just continued on, and I kind of knew that was my path.
Well, how was it like living in Ghana for a year? Why a
Yeah.
year?
Because we went there actually as like a mission. My dad, he ships containers because we own a farm there and have 2 villages. So my dad's from Mongkrong and Mumpong, and basically we went back to help our family and help friends and stuff. We put up generators and all this stuff. We put electricity in our villages. My dad built housing. He built toilet things for people to go to the washroom and all those kind of things. So my dad has like a side of him that's always been to go back and help his family and help people because he doesn't want to be here and live like this and watch his family suffer. So basically what we did was we loaded up 2 40-foot containers with a company called Global Gems, and we put medical beds, computers, bicycles, and all those things, and went back to just basically try to make a difference. And he took me there as an experience for me to change my life and see the other side of the world.
So that was your first time.
Yeah, that was my first time, and I spent about 11 months there, about 11 months, and I went to a private school and all those things as well. So
And how was the schooling there? You know, 'cause
uh,
when I actually did live in Nigeria for 3 years, and I had like the thickest British accent basically, and no one could hear me. There was a time actually when I'm not sure about Ghana, but if
Yeah.
we answer questions in Nigeria, we have to stand up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I stood up to answer the question, all confident,
Yeah.
and the teacher basically said, "I have no idea what you said, but I'm gonna believe you got it right." So we're just gonna give you that. So how was actually school there?
school was different. Like it just most people were quiet. It's not like in Western society where people talk and they just do their own thing and the teacher tells you to be quiet. It's like it's so much more respected that kids don't move out of their shell. They do as they're told. They don't waste time because there's not much time in a day to. Why would you waste it on something that's not important, right? So, like when you're in school, so many kids like they focus so hard, and the thing is there's so much like punishment, but not in a bad way, but it's punishment to like mature you, to make you stronger, to make you more responsible, to make you more accountable, all those kind of things. But I found that school was awesome, and I got to learn, got to meet a lot of people, learn different dialects and all those kind of things. And I even picked up some of the language for the months I was there.
You
And
speak?
I did speak, not anymore, but
don't
I
speak
came
Spanish.
back, and even my mom had told me, she's like, you sound like a robot, like you're not even the same person, like. But just because the culture is so heavy, it changed me, like as a person, in just a matter of months and years. So
You gonna bring the sport to Ghana? Because I feel like the sport in Ghana isn't as popular as you
Yeah.
think.
I think one day if I can excel through this and make it through university and finish my last year, because this is my draft year coming up, so
Okay.
if I can finish this year and maybe move on to pro and I can make a difference there, then yeah, I definitely think one day I'll take what I've learned and my technical skills and try to help others and teach them the game, and hopefully they'll love it as well as much as I do.
That's good. Not if, when you actually go pro, because
Exactly.
I actually do believe in that.
Mhm.
You did have a controversial moment where you had to choose the schools you would actually go to. I heard the United States were actually looking for you. So what made you choose Canada? Because you know how popular it is in the United States. So why did you decide to stay in Canada, despite the fact that it's home? Anything aside the fact that it's home, why Canada? Why U of M?
Basically, well, when I was heading into my last couple years of high school, basically grade 11 and grade 12 was the years I had to come down to my most biggest decisions. So I had been recruited by Purdue. I had been recruited by Washington State. I had been recruited by Eastern Washington, UW. Like I went on visits to many schools. I had lots of mail, a lot of emails from coaches. Basically, it came to the point where like I wrote my SAT. I did all those things that were required, but just being a Canadian, it's hard. You're in a little small circle of people that they pick from, and then in the States they may have like 16,000 receivers that they can pick from, right? So for me to go across the border and all those things, now it becomes way more money. It becomes way more this and that for them, and so sometimes it's just for them it's easier just to pick up a kid that's in your local neighborhood, right? So. I find I had a lot of interest going down in the States, but nothing really like pulled through. And then my last visit was with Washington State, and I really was sold on it. I thought I was going to end up going there, but it didn't work out, and somebody else got my spot. So basically, I had options. I had some good options here in Canada. Like I got recruited by UBC, Carleton, Guelph, Calgary, basically almost every school in CIS. But I came here because I met Coach Doby, and his personality was so more relaxed. He never rushed me to make my decision. He let me make my decision and where I wanted to play on the field. He never told me where he wanted me to play, and he kind of gave me that room to breathe. And I felt like that was the right decision to come here, just because I believed in that. I was getting what I wanted. So
You have no regrets on it, like if you had to go back to that time, because it must have felt a lot like you had to choose your future basically, and I can't actually imagine how that feels because any decision can make or break you.
Yeah.
So what did your family, your family pressure, your friends, because I'm sure some of your friends, did they go to the United States?
I have some friends right now. Like I have a couple guys down at UW, a couple guys down in Eastern Washington, and those schools, like more in areas of like around BC.
Right.
But like it's kind of, and I see some of these guys down there now. I always wish like maybe what if, like but I find that if you're good enough and then you're good at what you do, people aren't gonna not notice. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter where you are. I find people will find you if you're good enough. So
That's definitely, I believe that too.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
Yeah.
But what do you do aside from because you are in the Faculty of Arts, so
Yeah.
am I. So what do you do? What are you studying?
Right now I'm doing Native Studies, so that's going to be my major. I'm going for my minor in environmental science and social sciences. Basically, what I want to do is I was looking into going into policing. So after with football and everything, I've kind of learned as being a team leader and working with people and cooperating with kids and stuff like that. I've also coached many young kids through 6 years old to 12 years old and 18 years old in soccer. So I think I want to try and take my skills that I've learned in being in a team and being around leaders and people like that and try to maybe make a difference in the community, make a difference in the workforce such as policing. And I find that we have a lot of like indigenous problems in Canada, and I find that so being in Native Studies, I feel like it will help me be able to go up somewhere else and make a difference in the community, maybe up north or somewhere in Canada like that.
All right, so we're going to take a little break right now. When we come back, we're actually just going to talk about, he's actually very, very pro-black as well. I was doing my research, and you were actually part of a group of students that were talking about blackness in the NFL. I can't remember the actual theme, but that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
So when we get back, we'll actually continue from there, all right? Thank you very much. We're down 36-6. How did we get 6? I don't know.
Halftime. I don't know what's going on. We got the score right here. It's 36-6. What are we doing wrong? You're the receiver. I need you to get to the end zone. See that? See the arrows pointing end zone. You're a receiver. I need you to go over here and get to the end zone. That's where we're going to get touchdowns. Running back, I need you. Get this ball. I need you to run with it, end up in the end zone because we're getting touchdowns. Hey, all I'm saying is this halftime, we need to pick this up. We need to get this right because this is some crap, man. This is some crap. We need to win this game, bro. You trying to get W's or are you trying to get L's, bro? All right, so now that I taught you guys, we brief what we got to do. We're going to go back up. We're going to fix that score. All right, so where do we belong? End zone. End zone. Africa. And what? Hey, man. We're going to get to Africa after this game, okay? And what way are we on?
Touchdown way.
We're on that touchdown way. Let's go.
Let's get it.
1, 2, 3, touchdown!
Where we talked about being in the Faculty of Arts and you being talking about the blackness in the NFL.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your take on the Colin Kaepernick situation in the NFL so far?
I just find the whole thing kind of funny because I don't understand that people don't see the other side of what he's actually trying to preach. People come off as like he's trying to disrespect or he's trying to do this or put down anything to do with like veterans and the war and the flag and all those kind of things. But the big picture I feel like is there's so many people that come from like different backgrounds and being half black or being half Chinese or whatever your background is. But there's so much like stereotyping that I feel like what he's trying to preach is the things that go on in society, things that are going on in the communities, like the kids that are getting hurt or shot or killed or those kind of things that people need to address and not football. Like it's way bigger than football, I find, and they don't seem to see that side of it. And I think it's pretty sad because right now you have a guy who probably is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL and he could start on almost any football team. But now he's not given a shot to play football anymore. So half of his life has been taken away just because he's trying to stand up for himself.
That is the truth.
So I find it's pretty sad in that sense because, I mean, you're going to take one thing a guy's worked so hard for, and all he's trying to do is use it to impact other people in a positive way, and they're taking things away from him. So
True. I felt like when I was doing my research, I had like a picture of you in the background, right? Then I also had a picture of Colin Kaepernick in the background, and it hit close to home for me. And I can't really speak for you, but it hit close to home for me because you guys basically look alike. I believe his mix as well. Yeah, and he's also mixed as well. So I was like, it could have been you.
Yeah.
It could have been you. Could have been anyone. It could have been me even
Yeah.
if I ever played NFL for
Yeah.
any random reason. So I feel like, I know what he's trying to do, and I know for a fact other people know what he's trying to do. Why they're not allowing him to do that is what baffles me,
Yeah.
because it's free speech country, right? So why deny him of that, or why actually ruin his dreams? I'm glad that he's not alone. He's not like left in the streets, or
Yeah.
like no one has forgotten about him. I'm glad that he's still making a name for himself, but basically his NFL dreams are basically cut short, basically, because I don't even think he's in the new Madden game.
no.
It's not. So it could have been you. It could have been anyone actually. And so what are you doing for that? Like, how are you making like a difference in this U of M in
Yeah.
respects to that?
The funny thing is what you just said with the whole like how he looks like me and all those kind of things, but I actually got recruited by the University of Nevada too as well, the same school that Colin Kaepernick went to, and he played quarterback there for about I believe a couple of years, and then he ended up in the NFL. But yeah, I had a pretty good relationship with their coach too, and I remember having emails with him, and I even had a shot to go down that way as well because I had a friend, Malcolm Lee, who goes to UBC. He plays as a half for them. He also went there he ended up going to Nevada, and that was one of the good guys I trained with. But in terms of how a difference of making on campus, but in terms of U of M, like me and my friends and a couple of the guys on the team that are also have backgrounds like me, African parents and different things like that. We just try to get out in the community as much as possible. Try to be at all the events. Try to meet people that are not just black or not just white or not just whatever your background is, but try to understand that there's no difference between anybody. Like, we're all here for the same reasons. We're all equal. We all have our goals and our aspirations, and try not to separate yourself in terms of, your ethnicity or cultural background. But like doing those speeches in class is trying to spread awareness that, athletes, we have so much on our table and so much stress and so much pressure. And like when it comes to ethnicity and background and those things, like they do make life harder, like in certain situations for sure. And I've definitely been in situations in my life that I found harder. Maybe coaches have expected more out of me because I was colored, or maybe they expected less out of me, or they, assumed I was from a lower background or lower, poverty or any kind of thing like that. Like there's been different stereotypes and different, I guess you could say like just thoughts on my own personality and my assumptions on who I am just based on my color for sure.
Actually, I'm actually glad we actually touched on this, and I wish we could actually talking about it more. But I actually want to move into this part of mine because I actually want to learn about this game. What position do you actually play? I actually seen that you actually play a receiver. What is that?
Receiver. So as a receiver, we in the Canadian game, we waggle behind the line of scrimmage. So basically, everybody's set. Receivers are back about 6, 7, 8 yards. Quarterback gives you a wave, and then the receivers run, and they get their run behind the line of scrimmage. So, but in the American game, you line up on the line, and everybody's on the line. There's nobody back off the line. It's nothing like that except for the quarterback and the running back. So it's a little bit different in terms of American and Canadian rules.
Okay.
But so CFL and NFL. But yeah, so I play receiver. Basically, you receive the ball from the quarterback. Either he huts it or he could hand it off to you if you catch it and run or anything like that. So you basically you run your route. We have patterns we run, so we get into a huddle. We talk about the play. We figure out what we're going to do and what our assignments are. And then as a receiver, I may have to block somebody. I may have to run and, break here, break to the left, break right. And I have like basically my route. And everybody kind of has to be in sync because if one person's off or two people are off, it can ruin everything, right? It can just be disastrous. So yeah, so basically as a receiver, you're receiving the ball. And after that, now you're a player with the ball in his hand and you got to make moves. You got to, be smart with the ball. You now have to hold on to the ball, all those kind of things. And everybody's aiming towards, taking the opposing yards from the opposite team. So
I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what he said, but we're actually going to learn. He's going to take us outside.
Yeah.
We're actually going to learn the tips and tricks on this game,
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
I'm not being disrespectful. He said a lot of things that did not go down my ear because I just have no idea. But I'm willing to actually learn this still because it is actually an interesting sport. Okay, so you ready to teach me?
yes,
I'm actually going to gather like crew members. Actually, we're actually gonna do this.
Okay, yeah,
right.
sounds
We're
good.
gonna be NFL for a day. Right. I thank you very much for that.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. So right now I'm actually gonna go to the field. All
Yeah.
right. But I actually don't want to walk. You know. So basically, what I wanna do is there's this magic trick I wanna practice. Just teleports us there.
Yeah.
Right. Get my wand ready. Right. So I feel like for this trick to work, we actually have to stand up.
Okay.
Right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3.